Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Tuesday, October 18, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Philadelphia 76ers vs Boston Celtics. The Sixers were under the spotlight for much of last season. First, they dealt with the ongoing saga of AWOL All-Star Ben Simmons and his refusal to play for coach Doc Rivers and the Sixers. Then they dealt with the won't they trade deadline speculation until the team did eventually trade Simmons for former MVP James Harden. Finally, the team built to win in the playoffs faltered as MVP runner-up Joel Embiid got hurt and was not quite himself as the Miami Heat defeated the Sixers in 6 games. This offseason, Philadelphia made several key moves to strengthen the team's overall depth and watched as James Harden came into camp in the best shape he's been in several seasons. While Harden's condition may be the best news, the addition of PJ Tucker will be a close second. He gives the Sixers toughness and defensive intensity that the team lacked last season. The Sixers also have another year of improvement expected from budding NBA All-Star Tyrese Maxey. Maxey is a floor spreader and someone Philadelphia hopes can consistently beat his man off the dribble this season. Of course, the team's successor failure will likely be determined by the health of Embiid. On the floor, he's the best true big man in the league, but the Sixers will need to manage his minutes to keep him healthy for the playoffs. One key to Boston's major second-half turnaround last season was the team's ability to defend. They were the NBA's #1 defense, and that tenacity carried them all the way to the NBA Finals. Without Udoka, it will be interesting to see if the team can continue its ascent as the best defensive team in the NBA. Reigning Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart will certainly help that cause, as will White and Williams. Boston will need to be better from long range this season after finishing just 11th in the NBA last year, despite a very high volume of attempts. With Horford at center, Boston will pair Tatum and Brown at the forward spots and White and Smart as guards. While Williams too certainly gives them a much better interior defense, it is hard to argue with the defensive prowess of Tatum and Brown at forward and White and Smart at guard. Smart and White can interchange spots on the defensive end to harass Harden and wear him down. Horford has traditionally done well against Embiid and will get some help off the bench from another newcomer, Blake Griffin. Griffin can also pull Embiid away from the basket and make him work on the defensive end. Finally, Brogdon's presence gives Boston another fairly reliable 3PT shooter and, more importantly, a player with a true point guard mentality that should be able to feed Tatum and Brown in the right spots. Boston will take the home opener in what should be interesting battle all season between these two teams for the division title, as well as the top spots in the East. Take the Celtics and lay the points -2.5 points. The 76ers averaged 109.2 points per game and 108.8 points per game on the road last season. They averaged 102 points per game in their last 3 games against the Celtics. They played at a very slow pace, averaging 99.4 possessions per game, and they're facing a defense that gave up 103.1 points per game at home last season, so expect them to be held under their average in this game. The Celtics averaged 110.3 points per game last season and 109.3 points per game at home. They averaged 112.3 points per game in their last 3 games against the 76ers. They also played at a very slow pace, averaging 100.3 possessions per game, and they're facing a defense that gave up 107.7 points per game on the road, so don't expect them to score enough points to push the score over the total. The 76ers and Celtics played under the total in 3 of their last 5 meetings. Our total pick is under 216.5 points. Los Angeles Lakers vs Golden State Warriors. LeBron James and Austin Reeves led Los Angeles with 10 points each on a combined 8 for 19 from the field. Russell Westbrook came off the bench and exited the game with a hamstring injury. The Golden State Warriors have won 4 of the previous 8 NBA championships and are the favorites to repeat this season. The Warriors made their reputation based on their long-range shooting prowess, but led the league in defensive efficiency during their title run. In their preseason finale, Golden State was outscored by 22 points during the third quarter of a 119-112 home loss versus Denver. Sharpshooting Klay Thompson matched a game high with 17 points on 5 for 8 from the three-point line. Jonathan Kuminga added 17 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds for the Warriors. Anthony Davis was hurt most of last year, and LeBron dealt with injury issue as well, but the Lakers' 2 biggest issues even when Davis was healthy were inconsistent shooting and bad defense. Los Angeles' defense ranked 3rd worst in the NBA, and the Lakers gave up an average of 42.6 field goals per game during the 2021-2022 season. La had very few reliable perimeter shooters, and the team struggled with spacing on the offensive side of the ball all season. This year the team should be better defensively with Patrick Beverley starting and Davis at least healthy to start the season. The team's roster still lacks consistent outside shooting. LeBron James is also 37 now, and he will be 38 in December. Even though the Lakers are likely to struggle again this year, the Warriors always get up for LeBron because they remember the rivalry they with him in Cleveland. Curry looked great in the preseason, as did Wiseman, and the Warriors returned their core from last year. Golden State brought back nearly their entire roster from last year's championship team, while the Lakers come into this game dealing with multiple injuries, a new coach, and many new faces. Dennis Schroeder is dealing with a finger injury, and Westbrook hurt his hamstring at the end of the regular season. The status of both for the season opener is in doubt. Golden State enters the season opener with no significant injuries. Despite the drama surrounding the Warriors after the altercation and tape release surrounding Green and Poole, Golden State looked good in the preseason, and the defending champs returned nearly their entire roster from last year. The Warriors are an older team now with Curry, Thompson, and Green all in their 30s, but that won't be an issue early in the season. The Lakers just traded for Beverley, and this team has a lot of new faces that will have to figure out their roles, a new system with first-time head coach Darvin Ham in charge now. The Warriors are the much better roster, and Golden State has far more continuity as well. Our team pick is Warrior -6 points. The Lakers' season last year was a disaster, and La will be a very different looking team entering the 2022-2023 season. The Lakers won just 33 games last year, and the team was frequently blown out against even mediocre teams. A bad roster and injuries to key players were the main reasons the team struggled so much. A former head coach Frank Vogel was fired. The team also made a number of roster changes. The Lakers added Patrick Beverley, Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, Thomas Bryant, and Wayne Bacon. The team's new coach is former Milwaukee assistant Darvin Ham. The Warriors are also facing some uncertainty as the defending champs enter the 2022-2023 season after a tape was released showing that Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole in the face during a recent Warrior practice. Green is yet to get an extensions, and Poole just received $160 million, and there have been rumors of conflict between the two over their contract situations. Still, the Warriors enter the season with the same core of Curry, Thompson, and Green that they have had for a while now. Golden State also bring back Andrew Wiggins, who was a critical part of last year's championship run. Even though the Warriors were the 3rd-ranked defense in the NBA last year, Golden State did struggle with size inside, and Davis will be healthy to start the season. LeBron's ability to finish inside should an issue for Golden State as well, since Wiseman is likely to see limited minutes in his first regular season game in a while, and James usually plays his best in the regular season in primetime games like this one. Both teams prefer to play fast, with the Warriors' best lineup featuring Draymond Green at the center position. This should be a higher scoring game. Our total pick is over 227 points.